Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are considering signing D'Anthony Melton, a great defender who previously played for the Warriors and would be a great addition to the rotation. D'Anthony Melton could return to the Warriors, who are in need of defenders on the roster. Warriors set for huge free agency steal if surging rumors prove true. A reunion could be on the cards. While the Golden State Warriors have already been linked to Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal over the past week, it's another veteran guard whose acquisition may go completely under the radar compared to those other big names in free agency. There's now surging speculation that D'Anthony Melton is in line to return to the Warriors, with Los Angeles Lakers insider Jovan Buha stating on Monday that the chatter with Melton and the Lakers has cooled over the last few days, and there's actually been more buzz with him and the Warriors. D'Anthony Melton could be one of the steals of the NBA offseason. Melton certainly comes with risk for any team that signs him, having played 44 games over the past 2 seasons, including just 6 with Golden State last year before suffering a devastating torn ACL injury in November. Those risks would almost be completely mitigated though when you're talking about a minimum contract deal, which is very likely what Melton will be on if these latest reports linking him to the Warriors comes true. If Golden State use their taxpayer mid-level exception, $5.7 million, on Al Horford as expected, and assuming they either re-sign Jonathan Kuminga or bring in another player/S via a sign-and-trade, then they'll almost assuredly be limited to filling out the remainder of their roster with minimum contracts. That would include Melton, who could foreseeably accept that given the state of free agency and the lack of money going around. In fact, he might have signed elsewhere already if there was a bigger deal on the table. If Melton can return to full health, and that's a big if, then the Warriors could get a starter-level player who they know is an excellent complement to Stephen Curry in the backcourt. It could prove one of the steals of the offseason, particularly if Golden State beat out the Lakers to secure the 27-year-old. It's easy to forget that this time last year Melton was viewed as a steal on a 1-year, $12.8 million contract, with John Hollinger of The Athletic stating that he had a $26.5 million valuation on Melton. Best value contract of this cycle so far. It worked briefly for the Warriors, only to come to a sudden halt that sent the franchise into a tailspin until Jimmy Butler's arrival in February. Now Golden State won't have the same reliance on Melton necessarily, but the upside could be significant given his ability to impact on both ends of the floor. The Warriors are the only team to not make a move in NBA free agency. Light years? The 2025 NBA offseason has been underway for more than a week now. And we're still waiting for the Golden State Warriors to do something. To do anything at all. There have been whispers that the Warriors might do something. They're linked to both combo guard D'Anthony Melton and veteran center Al Horford, and each move makes a world of sense. They've also been listed as potential destinations for buyout All-Stars Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal, in case they want to move the needle without breaking the bank, and who doesn't? And of course, the wheels keep turning with Jonathan Kuminga's free agency. At some point the Warriors will almost surely be involved in something there, whether it's re-signing Kuminga, which seems more and more likely every day, or facilitating a sign-and-trade. They've even lost a player, with beloved center Kevin Looney taking his talents to NOLA and signing a 2-year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. But for all of that, the Dubs haven't actually made any moves. Which makes them, well, one of one. Just not in the way that they want to be. Yes, all 29 NBA teams that don't play in San Francisco have signed or traded for a player this offseason. The Warriors are the lone holdout. Don't believe me? Just check out this internet graphic. Internet graphics are, notoriously, never wrong. Those aren't all big moves. Trading for Jay Huff isn't exactly the definition of a thrilling offseason for the Indiana Pacers, especially after losing Miles Turner, though they've signed James Wiseman since the graphic was created. A lot of teams haven't done much. But every team has done something, except for the Warriors. That will change, of course. It's not an indictment as much as it is funny. But if it wanted to change sooner rather than later, I think we'd all be appreciative. Warriors listed as likely destination for three-time All-Star, career 21.5 PPG scorer. The Golden State Warriors might need some luck. The NBA free agency market is quickly drying up, and they have yet to make a single signing. The Warriors may be being blessed with some good luck. A former All-Star and scoring machine could become available soon. Bradley Beal is reportedly close to a buyout with the Phoenix Suns. This could open the door to a Bradley Beal Warriors signing. The Athletic's Fred Katz recently reported that Beal has thought of 4 different teams Beal has thought about joining if bought out. The Warriors were on his shortlist. This could be an incredible stroke of luck for Golden State. If the Warriors were able to sign Beal to a cheap deal after he is bought out, they'd be landing the best player on the free agent market this year. Their salary cap situation is such that they normally wouldn't be able to sign a player like Beal. But if a Beal buyout happens in the next few days, they could land the 3-time All-Star. The Warriors need another scorer/playmaker on their roster. Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler can only do so much, and getting Beal 17 points a game would be huge. He is also almost a 39% shooter from 3. Imagine the spacing he would get to operate if he shared the court with Curry. If the Warriors' veteran core could get Beal back to playing elite defense, this could be a game-changer. Right now, it's a lot of ifs, coulds and woulds for the Warriors and Bradley Beal. But if everything breaks right for both sides, the Warriors could hit the jackpot. Warriors must hope for an unusual path to pull off their ideal Jonathan Kuminga trade. Could the Kings forward question his own future? The longer that Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency drags on, the more likely it becomes that the former 7th overall pick will remain with the franchise on a short-term deal. The Sacramento Kings emerged as a strong contender for Kuminga last week, but that appears to have died down after the Warriors balked at an offer of Dario Saric, Devin Carter, and 2 second-round picks. A deal between the 2 Pacific rivals is still the most likely scenario if Kuminga is indeed moved by the Warriors, yet perhaps it will be up to one of the Kings' own players to make an ideal trade possible. Could Keegan Murray be considering his future with the Kings? Having shown no interest in Sacramento's lowball offer nor reportedly keen on dynamic guard Malik Monk, Golden State's dream target would undoubtedly be former 4th overall pick Keegan Murray. Clearly the Kings aren't going to be interested in a Kuminga-Murray swap, unless the latter was to perhaps voice his displeasure at the state of the franchise a year before he becomes a restricted free agent. The idea of that isn't as far-fetched as it may seem, with Sam Vecenie of The Athletic raising its potential when looking at the Kuminga situation on the latest episode of the Game Theory podcast. If you're Keegan Murray and his representation and you see how this roster is shaping up, are you sure that you want to be there? Obviously he'll be a restricted free agent next summer and they can match whatever they want, but are you excited about not shooting? Vecenie certainly has a point, noting the score-first nature of almost every single one of Sacramento's key players. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine are certainly just that, as is Monk, who averaged a career-high 14.4 field goal attempts last season. Domantas Sabonis and the recently acquired Dennis Schroeder may have more playmaking/passing to their game, but even they will see their fair share of shots. It's hard to see where Murray would fit into that, having already seen his field goal attempts drop from 12.7 to 10.8 last season, including nearly 1 3-point attempt less per game. Adding Kuminga to the mix would only complicate matters further, leaving Murray in an interesting position as he tries to make the most money possible on a rookie extension. It's not hard to envision that the 24-year-old would be a great fit on the Warriors, playing off the gravity of Stephen Curry and spotting up in the corner or on the wings as Jimmy Butler draws defenders in the paint. But instead of asking Sacramento specifically for Murray, Golden State's best hope may be for he and his representation to actually voice their uncertainty over signing a long-term extension with the franchise. Maybe then Scott Perry and the front office will be motivated to make a deal, but until then it appears like the Warriors will have little choice but to bring Kuminga back next season. Warriors trade talks hit unexpected snag behind the scenes. The Golden State Warriors might be listening to trade offers for Jonathan Kuminga, but that doesn't mean anything is close. In fact, it could be weeks, or longer, before a deal comes together. On the latest episode of The Zach Lowe Show, The Ringer's Zach Lowe gave a revealing update on the 22-year-old's situation, suggesting that Golden State's asking price is making teams hesitate. And from what I've heard in the Jonathan Kuminga situation, I'm not sure what you've heard, this might take a while because I think the Warriors want real stuff back, like a decent young player, a first-round pick, Lowe said on the podcast. Kuminga is currently a restricted free agent and has drawn significant interest across the league. According to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, teams including the Wizards, Heat, Bulls, Bucks, and Nets have all shown interest. The Kings, too, are considered a serious contender. Trade math isn't helping the Warriors. It's not just about interest, it's about logistics. Base year compensation rules, salary matching, and a depressed market have all created friction in getting a sign-and-trade across the finish line. The team that's getting Kuminga is like, well, because of the base year compensation rules, there's got to be salary kind of flying around the league. If we're dumping money to get Kuminga, like the team we're dumping to might ask us for another pick. And at that point, the price is just a little rich for our blood, Lowe added. That puts the Warriors in a difficult position. They want value back for Kuminga, and understandably so. He's still just 22, a former lottery pick with elite athleticism and two-way upside. But after a rocky 2024-25 season, in which he appeared in only 47 games and struggled with consistency, other teams aren't biting just yet. What's next for Golden State? It's clear Golden State isn't in a rush. They're still evaluating what they want their roster to look like around Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. Whether Kuminga is part of that picture or not remains to be seen. But if the front office is hoping to flip him for immediate value, patience might be the only option. Between the complex sign-and-trade logistics, salary matching hurdles, and the Warriors' firm asking price, nothing about this deal is shaping up to be quick or easy. It may take time, multiple teams, and serious negotiation before anything materializes.